Hello, my friends. It's September 1st, 2017, and it's time for today's big story. Happy Friday. There we go. So we got a bit of a two-day saga that has been answered today, and I don't know how I feel about the answer, but at least we have an answer. The box art for NBA 2K18 came up a while ago, but then it got updated to, well, let me look at it and I'll show you at the same time. This image that has this banner at the top that says, Internet download and microSD card required. Now we saw something kind of similar when Lego City Undercover came out on Switch, but apparently that was just a big mistake, blah, 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 blah. But this is like a very specific banner that looks applied to the box art by Nintendo themselves, and this box appeared on multiple retailers like Best Buy and GameStop, I think, or Amazon, doesn't matter. And people were like, what's going on here? And we didn't get any answer until a couple days later, which would be today, and now we have a full explanation, and like I said, I don't know how to feel about it. So right up front, Nintendo has said that there are going to be some Switch games that require a microSD card. So that would indicate that, they say because there's going to be content and require additional storage for players to enjoy the full experience. Those are for especially large games. So if you have a game that's bigger than the internal memory on the Switch, then you're going to need a microSD card to fit that game. Now, obviously, if you're going to go the eShop route, then you're going to need a microSD card, but this is for physical as well. So you're going to have the cartridge, and then also you will need to get a microSD card to fit the whole game. Now, the cartridge will have part of the game on it. How much? I don't know. But for people who don't have access to high-speed internet, or, don't feel like buying a microSD card, they have the money for the game and don't want to get the microSD card, it's going to be confusing, because if you don't have access to the internet right away, what are you going to get? Like, we don't know what's on NBA 2K18's cartridge, or game card, whatever you want to call it. So we don't know how much of the game content is there. How much are you going to be able to play without going online and downloading the rest of it? So you need internet access to get the full experience, and obviously that's not something that you need when you're talking about other platforms. If you're getting a game on PS4 or Xbox One, the whole game is on the disc. Now, disc sizes are different than the game card sizes. I believe the highest game card size right now is 32 gigs. And for all we know, maybe NBA 2K18 is bigger than that. I mean, I guess it is, because you need additional storage size. We don't know how much bigger it is than that, but 2K is very proud that this game is the fully featured game on Switch, and it sounds like that is going to lead into some big sizes for games. So if devs are going to bring over their multi-platform titles and, their big AAA games, then we're going to have to expect to get some microSD cards to hold all this information. Now, Nintendo wants it to be very clear that these games are going to have the banner on them and information on front and back showing you that you need a microSD card. So just like I showed you with the NBA 2K18 box, other game boxes will have the same thing. It's very prominent, it's very clear. I would say it's a very ugly banner, but it's doing an important thing. So keep an eye for that, because there's going to be more games coming to Switch that use that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda's games, as far as we know just right now, Skyrim is going to use that. Because Skyrim's a pretty beefy game, so we might see it on that game box. But like I said, the more third parties that bring their games to the system, and the more third parties that bring their AAA, big, expensive games to the system, are probably going to need that extra storage space. Colma on Go Nintendo says, so basically 2K was too cheap to buy larger Switch game cards, or they went gold before the full game was done, just like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 did. Yeah, this opens up a whole can of worms, so we don't know the situation here with 2K. I don't know that they're ever going to tell us, but in the future, it wouldn't be surprising to see game companies release games on Switch on smaller game cards and then pass off the expense to the consumer. So the game company doesn't want to spend the extra money to get the bigger size game cards for Switch, because it costs more, obviously. They're printing discs for PS4 and Xbox One, and those are much cheaper than a game card. So rather than shelling out the extra cash or doing a smaller run of the game cards themselves, they go with a game card that has less storage space, and then make the consumer get the microSD card to eat the cost, basically, and get access to the full game. I've been saying this a lot lately. I can see both sides. It's more expensive for the publisher, and it's kind of crappy to pass it off to the consumer, but they're a business, they're trying to make money, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road solution. But yeah, you could see that there's definitely going to be some issues in the future with companies really cheaping out and making us get micro SD cards. Now, I'm going to be called a Nintendo apologist for this, and so be it. I've been called it a million times, but when it comes to storage space on other systems, I have a PS4 and an Xbox One. I hit my storage space limit on the PS4 a very long time ago. But ever since then, I've just been juggling save data because I haven't gone out to buy an a new hard drive and replace it, because there's a whole bunch of steps. I know they're not difficult steps. I did it on the PS3. I could do it on the PS4. But it's just, you know, a bother that I don't want to deal with. So I'd rather go through and play the information management game and make more storage space that way and utilize cloud storage and stuff like that. And on the Switch, I like the fact that I can be like, oh, I need more storage space. I get a micro SD card and I put it in. That's it. Like, that's a simple solution. I mean, the problem is there for storage space. The internal storage space isn't that big on the Switch. So at least the solution, I feel, is easier than what you get on the other systems as far as the hardware installation. So that's just my 2 cents. I mean, I don't mind the storage solution on any platforms. I have solutions on every platform, and I choose to handle it however I want. And I'm playing games and downloading stuff and making it work. It's just, you know, I like micro SD card better. Alright, my friends, that's today's big story for September 1st, 2017. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. No big story tomorrow because it is the weekend, but I will be doing the latest episode of the Go Nintendo podcast. We would love to have you join us. So that's 3:15 p.m. East Coast time. If you feel like watching, the archived version will be shortly thereafter, and the audio version will be after that. But if not, then have some fun, hang out, play some games, see some friends and family, take it easy on the weekend, and I'll see you on Monday for whatever Monday's big story is. So until then, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you in a few short hours. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at Twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at Instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.